Good morning, guys. Welcome back to this channel again. My name is Redwan. Yeah, as we all know that we have started this beautiful journey towards Python programming. So in this Python programming series, we have started from part one. This is part two of this series. And in the last part, can you see we created a folder? I asked you to create your own folder as well. So on this desktop, I called my own read one coding class. Can you see that? And in the last class, we have already seen how to download the Anaconda and how to work with Jupyter Notebook. That is the IDE we are using to write Python code. Okay. So today we continue from where we stopped. So I will drop the link in the description below so that anybody that has not done that, so you can just go and check the video and do what and see how we downloaded and how we installed the Anaconda. So that is what we'll be writing to you. That's what we'll be using to write our Python code. Beautiful. Now let's go, everyone. But before we start, what is even Python? Let me just share one file with you guys. So let's quickly, within some minutes. So we now start the practical fully. Look at this. Firstly, especially when we say completely for beginners. As you can see, we put it there, learn Python like a baby. That is, we are going to start from scratch. We assume that you don't have any knowledge. So that's what I'm doing here. I assume you don't have any knowledge about what programming is all about. So what is programming? Programming is the way of giving instruction to the computer to perform a particular task. What's the meaning? If some people use system for different tasks. Some they use it to write, maybe to prepare documents. Some they use it to watch movies. Some they use it to play game. So whatever the activities you want to use your system for, so it's an instruction you are giving to the computer. So we have many applications that are being built to perform those tasks. So those applications, some people built them and they use programming language to build them. So that is exactly what programming is. Then we now have different programming languages. What are they? We have Python. That is the one we are doing. We have Java. Why are we doing this? So that you will have knowledge about other things. Even you may not say you want to go through, like you want to write their syntax, but at least when anybody is talking, wherever you find yourself, if they are saying that, okay, what are the programming language that you know? Because I've seen somebody like that they asked that you say you're a software engineer, what are the programming language that you know? And was not able to mention even two. They said you should mention five. So he was not even be able to mention. So that means you must have knowledge about other. That is, these are other programming language like Python as well, although their functionalities are somehow different a little bit. We have Java, Kotlin, Go, and others like that. So Python, now, out of everything, we are interested in Python. What is now Python? Python is an interpreted, high-level, object-oriented, and general-purpose programming language. Wow. Can you see we have four technical terms here? Interpreted because, can you see the note here? Python is an interpreted language because it has an interpreter that's normally used to convert the source code to the machine language. What is machine language? Binary. That is what every computer in the world understands, is 0 and 1, binary. So interpreter does convert what? Your source code, the code you write, to machine language 0 and 1. Then look at the another technical terms, high level. When we say Python is high level, that means Python is very close to human language, just like English. You understand? That's why we say it is high level language. Object oriented. I will explain this one more, especially when we get to OOP in Python. You remember the roadmap I shared with you. That video, you can check the video, the roadmap to Python. So you see there is a concept that we call OOP, object oriented. When we get there, I will explain that to you. General purpose programming language, that means what? We can use Python is what? Is versatile. We can use it almost everywhere, okay? So that is what actually leads us to different areas of application of Python. But look at this second note. Python is an object-oriented language because everything in Python is an object. You now be like, what do you mean by everything is Python is an object? Beautiful. Don't worry. When we get to that OOP, we explain that one better and you will get it very well. Now, what are the different areas of application of Python? Because the definition actually includes general purpose programming language. So that means we can use it almost everywhere for web development, game, desktop, mobile, data analysis, data science, machine learning, AI, robotics, IoT, ethical hacking. We can use Python almost everywhere. What are the different libraries and frameworks of Python? Firstly, what is library? Library is an inbuilt software in Python that can make our work to be easier and faster. So while framework is the collection of many libraries. For example, let's say you as a developer, maybe you want to build You want to build an application. Now you need to write, for example, let's say you need to write 500 lines of code before your application will work. Okay. Instead of you to do that, they have already built some libraries for you and frameworks that it can help you to cover the first 300 lines of code. Your own is just to write the remaining 200 lines. Wow, that's lovely. Then what are different libraries and frameworks we have? We have Pandas, Matplotlib, NumPy, Scikit-learn. The first four, we use them for data science and machine learning. So the next four, PyTorch, Keras, TensorFlow, Theano, we use it for deep learning, something like neural network, like CNN, convolutional neural network, artificial neural network, recurrent neural network. So we have Kiwi for mobile app, Tkinter, GUI. We use it to build GUI, that's graphical user interface, just like a desktop application. Pygame is a library that we can use to build a game application, so game app. Then we have Django, Flash, CherryPy, TurboGF, FastAPI, Pyramid, Streamlit. All these things, we use them for web application. So especially the backend, to write the backend. Although Streamlit can be used for both backend and front end. Now IDE, we have already said what is an IDE in the last video, part 1. We say IDE is what? Integrated Development Environment. This is an environment where we can write our code. And of course, what are the different IDEs that we have? We have Jupyter Notebook, PyCharm, Spider, Atom, so like etc. like that. So we are using what? Jupyter Notebook. Later in the course, don't forget, we will still make use of PyCharm, especially when we get to modules and packages in Python. I mean the custom module where you'll be able to build your own custom module and your own packages. So now the next thing is downloading and installation of Anaconda distribution. We have done that in the last part, don't forget. An introduction to the Python syntax. So I will just repeat this introduction to the Python syntax here because I did that also in the last class. Now, what did I tell us? For those, so I assume everybody has already downloaded the Anaconda. Now we can work with Jupyter Notebook. I said what we do after the downloading and after the installation, okay? You come here and say Anaconda. Can you see? You now go and search for the Anaconda navigator. Can you see the one with this green circle? Click on it, open it. Once you click on it like that, so what will happen? You will wait until it is open. So it will take some time. When it is opened, it will take you to this environment. Then you click on this Jupyter Notebook. Can you see? That is the ID we want to use. When you click on it, launch. Just click on launch. So it will show you that, okay, it is launching. So it's going to be opened with browser, okay? When it is being opened for the first time, it will look like this. Can you see? And it will take you to this environment. Now, don't forget, before I started, I said we have already created one folder. If you have not done that, go and create a folder on your desktop. Call it anything you like, maybe your Python class or your coding class, anything. So you can now come here. If you cannot find desktop, you can get maybe anything you can look at, maybe document or whatever. So you can just go into that place and create a new folder, or you can just open it directly from here. So I want to open desktop. Double click on desktop. Can you see it? Can you see? These are all the files, all the folder I have on my desktop. What is the name of the folder I created? Read one coding class. Can you see? This is it. Beautiful. So if I double click on read one coding class now, so can you see? Wow, I am here. So because in the last class we have already named the file. In your own case, if you are just doing it for the first time, it will give you what? Untitled. You just come here and rename it. Can you see? It is when I rename it to read one file that I have read one file. Let me say I want to rename it again. Let's say read one coding class. Can you see? You can rename it to anything. Read one coding class. Rename. Or just click on rename. You will not change the extension, no. It is only, can you see? You will not change .pypynb. No, it's only that one before that extension you will change. Good of you. Now let's go, everyone. So in the last class, can you see? Wow, we did what? We printed this simple our first line of code in Python. We just printed this thing. So I wrote this thing. This is a cell inside this bracket. Can you see? This is another cell. I'm inside another cell. This one is empty. Another cell, another cell. So in the last class, I told us that if you want to run any code, what will you do? Just come here. Then you can come and click run. Where is run? Can you see? You will be inside the cell that you want to run the code. You write the code, then can you see? I am inside this cell now. So I want to run it. I will now come and run. Just click on run. Okay, it's a run selected cell. Yes, beautiful. It has been executed. If I say Welcome to Software Code Math Academy again. Let me just put again there. So if I come here and run it again, look at it. Run selected cell. Beautiful. Now, the thing is, let me go to the next cell. Let me print another. Print. This is a what? This is a Python class. This is a Python class. Now, if you don't want to be coming to this place every time to click on run, what will you do? Once you have written the code inside that cell, just hold your hand on shift. Use one hand to hold shift, press shift, then use another hand to press enter. Shift, enter. Wow, can you see? Instead of you to be coming to this place and be clicking on run every time, okay? So just make sure you do what? Shift, enter. So now what do you observe, everybody? Everything I'm printing, they are inside this double quotation. Somebody can ask me, if I run this empty file, it will empty cell, it will generate another cell. Can you see? I'm running demo. Can you see? Hey, it's giving me so many cells. Okay, so and I can still cut any cell I want. Let's say I want to cut this cell. Use scissors. Okay, I can cut it. So don't cut the cell where that you have something inside it. And if you want to cut, then that means you don't want to use that thing again. Or if you cut the cell, you can still paste it anywhere. But let's leave that one for now. So now, everybody, I can use double quotation. Let me copy this. Let me come to the next cell. Let me do this. This is a Python class again. Everybody, look at what I want to do here. The first code, I use double quotation. Second code, I use double quotation. Now, this one, I want to use single quotation. Can you see? Now, anything in quotation in Python, we call it string. S-T-R-I-N-G, string. Don't worry, I will see. You are still coming to data type, of course. So this is a Python class again, okay? Let me run it. What will I press? Good of you, you got a shift, enter. Can you see? This is a Python class again. That's beautiful. Now, the thing is, if you observe, here we use double quotation, it worked. We use single quotation, it worked. Somebody will now be like, okay, read one. What if I use double quotation and I now use single quotation? Will it work? No. If you run it, can you see? It will tell you that unterminated string literal detected at line 1, stuff like that. Can you see? It will give you an error. You have to be consistent. If you open it with double quotation, you have to end it with double quotation. If you open it with single quotation, you have to end it with single quotation. Are you with me? So you cannot open with double and close it with single. So it will not be accepted. Let me run it again. Beautiful. Everything is working fine. Okay. That's good. Now, can I print many things inside the cell? Or is it only one thing I can print inside the cell? No. Of course, you can print many things inside the cell. I can say print, okay, print hello Python. Okay. So what will I do? Let me run this. Okay. So let me now edit. So hello what? Python. Hello what? Java. Hello Kotlin. Hello C++. Okay. So let me run it now. Beautiful. Can you see? Wow, that's lovely. That means inside the cell, you can have as many lines of code as possible. Are you with me? Okay, let me show you. Let me copy all this. Let me show you one more thing again. Another thing is this. Now, I am printing 4 lines and it's working, isn't it? Good. What if I want to discuss comment with you in Python? When we are talking about comment, if you don't want a line to be seen by an interpreter as the line to execute, as the code to execute, then we can use comment. What do we use as comment here? For example, let's say I don't want hello Kotlin to be printed. I will just put hashtag. Okay, I can just put hashtag. Coming now. So this keyboard is all the keys there, so they are somewhere else, so not what they put there. Okay, so look at this. Just use this one hashtag. If I use one hashtag here and I execute the code, can you see now? Aha. That means it will see this one as a comment. This line, it will see it as a comment. Okay, now what is the usefulness of that? It's just like, maybe let's say you want to write a very simple title, just very simple title about what you want to do. For example, so let's say I want to write this is a string. Maybe I want to talk about string here. Okay, now I want to say hello string, because I have it inside a quotation. Can you see? That is a string. Now let us talk about, so that is what we call comment. I will still talk about the multi-line comment later. Okay, just stay tuned. Now the thing is this. Let's say if I say print, let me ask you this question. If I say print this, look at it though. If I say print name, everybody, what will this one give me? Correct, it will give us name. Wow, that's good. Why? Because you have it inside the quotation now, it is seeing this thing as a string and it's going to be printed the way you have it. Good. But look at something here. What if I say print name without putting quotation on top of it? What will happen? I want you to see something. If I run it now, see what it's going to give us. Wow, it said name error. Name is not defined. In fact, let me even call it my name. Let me say my name. So if I run it now, can you see? My name is not defined. Wow, can you see that? Why is it saying that? It is because now it is saying this my name as a what? As a variable. So that is what will now lead us to the concept that we call variable. What is a variable? Can you see? If you put quotation on it, of course, it will give you exactly the way you have it, which is my name. But if there is no quotation, it is seeing it as a variable that's supposed to have been defined, but you have not defined it. Okay, so let me do something. Let me generate a cell there. Now, okay, I have a cell here. It's expecting this my name to have been defined somewhere. What's the meaning? That is, if I want it to give me something, I can say my name. Look at it. There must not be space. Oh, when you are defining variable and you want to join two words to make it that variable, so you must not create a space. We can use underscore. We still get there. Don't worry. Is equal to what? I can put this one inside the quotation. Let's say I want it to be my name. My name is Ridwan. My name is Ridwan. Can you see? What am I doing here? I am this thing. What you have at the right hand side is called, it's a string, definitely. I am now assigning it to the one at the left hand side. The one at the left hand side is called my name. This equality sign, equal sign, is called assignment operator. That means I am assigning my name is Ridwan to a variable my name. Now, if I come here again, look at something, everybody. If I come here again, can you see? It is still giving me an error. That my name is not defined. Do you know why? Because I just wrote this. I have not executed it. You have to shift enter to run it. Once you run it, it will save it in the memory. That okay. Anytime whenever anybody refer to me or make a reference to me, this is what I will give them. My name is Ridwan. Beautiful. So you have already executed. You have run the cell. Now I can now come here and say print my name. Wow. Can you see that? That's beautiful. It's as lovely as that. So that means what? My name is Ridwan, because that is what we assign to this variable my name. That is called a variable. So we have different ways of naming variable. Okay, I can say my underscore name. This is another way. It's equal to what? David. Can you see? If I say my name, my underscore name, this is another way of naming variable. Okay, my underscore name is equal to what? David. Let me run it so that it will store it in the memory. Okay. Now, I can now come here and say print my underscore name. Okay. So that is called a variable. So if I run it now, can you see? It will print David. Why? Because that is what we assign to my underscore name. Okay. Now, please, I want you to take note of something. You cannot say, it's not possible for you cannot start a variable with value. You cannot say to name is equal to maybe 6. I can assign value to a variable as well. You now want to come and say print to name. There's nothing like that. This is not a variable. This is not a valid variable name. Why? A variable cannot start with value. So if I run it now, it will give you an error. Can you see? Invalid decimal literal, syntax error. Okay, this is wrong. But I can say name too. I can end my variable with value, but you cannot start your variable name with value. Okay, so name 2. Name 2 is equal to 6. What did I do? I assign 6 to name 2. And I say print name 2. If I run it, wow, it will print 6. Are you with me? Now, look at this 6 now, because we have already said that we are going to discuss on data type. Number one of them is this string. Okay. Another one is integer. This value, this is what we call integer. Any value that is what? That is a whole number like this. That is called integer. Let me now show you something. Let me use comment. Okay, I'm supposed to even ask you, what is this? That is what? That is if you want to comment, that is the symbol that we use to do anything like a comment. I want to talk about string. Look at it. I want to talk about string here. So let me say, okay, let's say name, let's say my name, student underscore name is equal to Alice. Okay, that is a string. Are you with me? That's a string. Then let's say I want to discuss integer. So that string is one data type, okay? And that is an example. Anything inside the quotation, that's a string. That means because I assign Alice as a string to this variable student underscore name, that means student underscore name is a string. Now look at this one. If I say x is equal to 34, okay? This x is an integer because it's a whole number. If I say y is equal to minus 23, can you see this is also an integer? Because an integer can be positive, can be negative, it can also be 0. Okay, that is that. Now let's say I want to discuss another data type, floats. What do we call float? It's very simple. Anything that has decimal points, that is a float. So you must understand all this and you must be able to distinguish between them. Okay, so let me say c is equal to 4.0. Can you see? Because it has decimal points, that is a float. So c is an example of a float. So let me say v is equal to what? V is equal to 3 point, but let me even say minus 3.7. That means this one also is a what? Is a float. Are we together? Beautiful. So let's take note of that. So till now, we have known what is a variable. Variable is just like a container that can help you to keep something. For example, my underscore name is a variable. What did I assign to it? David. That is, please, my underscore name, you are a variable. Help me to keep this David. Anytime I want this David, I will make a reference to you, my underscore name. Very beautiful and very simple as that. Am I communicating? Good. So now, let's go. The next thing now is what? Let's say I have, okay, let me ask you this question. X is 5. What data type is X? Good of you, integer. Okay, let me say Y is 12. What data type is that? Integer. Good. Can I say print X plus Y? Can you see? That means this one also, it understands some mathematics. Wow, that's beautiful. This is what? Beautiful. I have already said X is 5 here, and Y is what? Let me even say Y is 2. If I say print x plus y, that is 5 plus 2. That's what? 7. I've executed it again. So now, let me say here, print, what if I want to do subtraction? Print x minus y. What will it give me? X minus what? Minus y. What will it give me? What is x? Don't forget, since we have already assigned 5 to x here, and we have assigned 2 to y here, so it's going to see all those values. Then I don't want you to be confused about something. I have x is 34 here. You now be like, but x is 34 here now. We are saying x is 5 here again. Which one will he pick? He's going to pick the latest value of x. Are you with me? I will show you that now. I'm coming. So if I say y is 2 now, so x is 5. So 5 plus 2, that's 7. If I come here, x here remain what? 5, because we have not changed the value of x since when we define it here. So x still remain 5, y remain 2. So 5 minus 2, run it, 3. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, what if I want to do multiplication? What do we use as multiplication? We use asterisk as multiplication. That is star. You will see it on your keyboard, okay? Coming. All right. So x asterisk. Can you see? Asterisk. Hey, if I run it now, wow, that is 10. Of course, we are going to do some of other arithmetic operator later. This is just an introduction, mind you. So now, before we are going to stop for today, just like the one I talked about then, that when you assign value to a variable more than once, then it's going to pick the last one. Let me say a is equal to what? 23. Now, whether in the same cell or in another cell, in the following cell, so this thing is going to happen. Can you see the same AO 36? Now, what happened? That time when you say A is 23, it will store it in memory that A is 23. If you come here and say A is 45, it will erase the previous one, which is 23. It will now assign 45 to A. Now I am changing the value of A again to 36. So if I run it now, if I now say, come and give me A, print A, it's going to see the what? The last one, mind you. Let me run it. Wow, can you see? It will only recognize the last value that you assign to it. Then finally for today, I want you to observe something. Python is case sensitive. What do I mean? If I say A is what? Or let me say, if I say Q is what? 21. Look at it though. I'm now saying print Q, which is uppercase. What do we call uppercase? That's capital letter. What do we call lowercase? That's small letter. Can you see? You define lowercase Q here as 21. Instead of you now to print, so your intention is to print this Q, which is supposed to give you 21. You now print Q with uppercase. It will give you an error. Let us see it. Wow, it said name Q with uppercase. It's not defined. And of course, it's not defined. You did not define it now because you defined the lowercase Q, but you are now referring to what? You are making a reference to uppercase Q, which has not been defined. That is why we say Python is case sensitive. So you just have to say the same way you define it, that's the same way you are going to make a reference to it. Beautiful. Wow, everybody. What did we do today? We saw how we can print a statement in Python. So we can use double quotation or single quotation, but you cannot say you want to use double from the beginning here. You now end it with single. No, you have to be consistent. Then we can print more than one line of code inside the cell. And this is a single line comment. If you don't want a particular code to be executed, you can comment it out. Maybe you don't want to delete it, you can comment it out. Interpreter will not see it as code to be executed. So can you see this is one of the advantages of what? Of a comment. Because here I'm saying this is a string. Imagine if I remove that thing, that hashtag. If I run it now, can you see it will tell us invalid syntax. So if you don't want it to give us an error, so we just have to say, so anything inside the quotation is a string, and that is an example here. Now, so let me run that. Okay. But what do you observe here? I did not put print here, and it is still what? It is being printed. Yes, don't be surprised. I will still tell you more in the next class. That is what? That is how Jupyter Notebook normally work. When you say, for example, if I say x is equal to 5, if I come here and I say x, even without printing, without saying print x, are you with me? If I run this code now, it will give you that 5, okay? So it's very beautiful. So Now we talk about variable. That is, variable is a container that we can assign what? Assign value to. Here I am assigning my name is Ridwan to my underscore, my name. And another way of defining variable, my underscore name. So we have many ways. I will still show you others. I will show you more in the next class. Okay, just stay tuned. Then we have talked about at least 3 data types. Now we have many data types, okay, but at least for now we have talked about 3. Number 1 is what? String. Another one is what? Integer. String. How will you recognize string? Anything inside the quotation is a string. What of integer? All this value like this, whole number without any decimal point, they are integer. So then floats. Floats are the value that have decimal points. Okay. Then if I have something like this, I can do some kind of simple arithmetic like addition. I can do subtraction. I can do multiplication. And finally, we talk about when you have, okay, here we talk about when you have this value, you assign something to this variable. Assign something to this variable. The same variable, mind you, the last thing you assign to the variable is what is going to be recognized when you make a reference to it. Okay. And finally, we said that Python is case sensitive. If you assign something to lowercase q, then if you want to make a reference to it, you have to say lowercase q, not uppercase. If you assign something to uppercase q, then you have to make a reference to that. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoy it. Please don't forget, kindly subscribe, share, and what? And like. So it will be so beneficial to you and every other people. So that's why we said that we'll be doing it step by step. That's why we call it Learn Python like a baby, so that you will not miss anything. You will understand. For complete beginner. Thank you, guys. See you in the next video. Stay tuned. Bye.